10 crew members.
In search of the ultimate two-wheel classic motorcycle has been invited to the Canadian Hall of Fame banquet. This is the Oscars of the motorcycle industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome this evening into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame one of the greats, the pride of Abercoonan, Wales, Ivor Lloyd. The dirt track racing legend on and off the track, Jim Sale. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame Don McHugh. Accepting on his behalf is his wife, Sheila McHugh.
We really got underway in a big way about 4 years ago with our first induction banquet, and we decided that it was time to honor the worthy participants in Canadian motorcycling from all aspects of motorcycling, whether it's racing, whether it's training, whether it's road riding. We want to be all-inclusive. It was the brainchild of Hodgson, and he got the ball rolling, and he has now gifted that whole project to the motorcycle community. It's organized now by the Motorcyclist Confederation of Canada.
In 1999, my wife Haiti and I decided to set up the Canadian Motorcycle Heritage Foundation. And the whole intent on that was to have a foundation in Canada that would preserve the heritage of Canadian motorcycling. So an outshoot of that happened in recent times when we put together the Hall of Fame. Dave Lloyd came to us with an idea on that. We put our thoughts together and we created the Motorcycle Hall of Fame Induction Banquet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame, Hodgson. One of the best motorcycle road racers to ever compete in this country, Dwayne McDaniels. Please join me in welcoming the Canadian Race Communications Association into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame.
We're really in the presence of royalty here. It's not just Canadian royalty, but it's Canadian motorcycling royalty, which I think is as good as it gets. I hope you'll all take advantage of hearing the stories of your table mates and friends and picking up as much Canadian motorcycling lore as you can.
Wow, what a crazy machine. Can you believe this thing? This is owned by John Williams. He's the 10-time Canadian hill climb champion and a 5-time world hill climb champion. And we can't believe how such a small guy as John has been able to ride such a monstrous machine as this. It's supposed to be reported to be about 300, just under 300 horsepower. Taking a look at you and sitting on this. I mean, how the heck do you ever hang on to that?
Just complete fear of falling off. But this motorcycle on some hills at Allentown, Pennsylvania, it's a 600-footer, and you get about a 25-foot run, which is a long run, and we gear it up for everything it'll take. And it's only about 45 degrees, the first 200 feet of it, and we're doing 100 miles an hour. When we come to this breaker, it's just, what they do is they take a bulldozer right across the hill and they cut 30 feet of it out. So you can't go over the hill. You just leave it wide open and you won't touch the ground again for 150 feet. And then you kiss and you've got 100 feet to go and you go right off another one. And then it gets steep. It gets about 75 degrees for the last 200 feet of it.
That's fantastic.
It's exciting.
Yeah. So just give us a little background on your history and tell us, how did you get into hill climbing in the first place?
Everybody asks me that. How'd you get into hill climbing? A friend of mine years ago, he says, look, how about take me down to Kitchener, and my buddy's not well, and I want to see him, and while we're there, we'll go see the Canadian Championship hill climb. I said, hill climb? Hill climb? I'd never heard about it. So we get there and we go park. We can't get near the hill, and I'm looking around, and I said, where's the hill? There's no hill here. It was all flat. So he said, we got to jump the fence. We couldn't get anywhere near the place. So we start walking and we go across this field, and all of a sudden we get to the edge and I look down. Here's this amphitheater, and I can still hear the announcer saying, and now we have Charlie Jacobs from Bangor, Pennsylvania, riding Harley Davidson. You're getting excited just hearing the announcement, eh? Yeah, and he blasts up the hill, and I turned to my buddy and I said, look, I'm going hill climbing. This is what I've been put on the earth for. That's how it all started. Of course, he laughed and the rest is history. But it was a long haul. It was 10 years. I won one hill climbing in 10 years. And I just didn't have the iron that could do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame, John Williams. Ken Morgan, making the presentation, is Peter Shepard, past president and MCC chair. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome current president, John Varga, who will accept on behalf of the Steel City Riders. The motocross pioneer, Carl Bastido, and making the presentation is Warren Thaxter.
You know, I was talking to John Cooper, the president, earlier on, and he said that, you know, that he's getting a sponsorship now with like Suzuki Canada. And do you see this growing and becoming a bigger event? You know, as it goes on?
They definitely. It definitely will. It's big enough the way it is. I don't know that they have to go much bigger.
Okay.
But it's a great event, and it's the industry really should support it. It's supported in countries all over the world, and Canada should have support for the Motorcycle Hall of Fame.
Yeah.